Okay, so on to Tucher number 2. This is a Hell's Hefe Weizen. And I can see already looking at it that it is very hazy, which is appropriate for this style of beer. There's a lot of yeast settlement in the bottom of this bottle, and so I rolled it around because, well, it's really up to customer preference, drinker preference, how you want it. There's a lot of sediment in the bottom, and if you would like to include that in your drink, you just kind of roll it gently because, of course, you don't want to shake it up too much. It'll make a mess on you. And then I'll get a little bit more of the yeast into the pour. When your beer is real yeasty like that, that actually increases mouthfeel. So it kind of changes the experience. And really, it's personal preference. I'm probably not going to pour off the bottom part of it just because I don't want that much sediment. But I'm curious to know what the style is like with its yeast. And it's almost so yeasty it pours white. I don't know if you can see that. Um, Okay, so the bottom of this is pretty thick at this point. I wish you could see better. There's a dark circle in the bottom that is yeast sediment. You can see it in the ring around the outside. And if I shake it, try to mix it in, you cannot see through this bottle anymore. So we'll give this a try. So this is category 15A for the Weizen and Weissbier category. There's a lot of beers that kind of fall into this category. So I've had Crystal Weizen, and then Hefe Weizen, which Americans know a lot about at this point. It's a traditional wheat-based ale originating in southern Germany that is a specialty for summer consumption, but is now generally produced year-round. They're refreshing, fast-maturing beers that are lightly hopped and show unique banana and clove yeast character. These beers don't often age well and are best enjoyed while young and fresh. A mit hef is served with yeast sediment stirred in. The crystal version is filtered for clarity. Bottles with yeast are traditionally swirled or gently rolled prior to serving. And so that's what I was doing before I served this. So let's move on to aroma. This is definitely yeasty. There's a little bit of spice, clove, phenols. There's a little bit of fruity ester to it. But I get a lot of bready, yeasty quality. So as you can see, maybe you can or cannot see, this is very hazy. You can't see through it at all. It looks like it's lightly carbonated. It poured with a slight head, but it didn't retain. I left about an inch or so, half inch, about an inch in the bottom of this bottle, just because I didn't want that much sediment in my beer. And so, on to flavor, my favorite part. This is definitely a Hefe Weizen. One thing that I was reading at the end that I was wondering, I was reading before I had done this, that there's a tart citrusy character from yeast and high carbonation is often present. And I think I just experienced exactly that tart citrus quality. It's really mellow, very well balanced. This is overall a good beer. I can see why people put citrus into them. They'll put an orange slice, sometimes a lemon slice into it. That would give it would pair nicely with a little bit of citrus kind of sparkle that it has at the end. Otherwise, the clove and the phenols and the estery qualities are here, but they're very subtle. And the wheat sweetness, kind of bready yeastiness, really comes through here. As far as mouthfeel goes, this is a little bit fuller beer than the Crystal. and probably slightly more carbonated. And so that makes sense, like I was saying, that in the crystal it's incredibly well filtered and it's crystal clear. And the Hefe Weizen, we see a little bit more yeast in there, and the yeast is going to provide a little bit more mouthfeel. So this definitely has more mouthfeel to it. Not heavy. And as a matter of fact, it says in the style guidelines, suspended yeast may increase the perception of body. The texture of wheat imparts the sensation of a fluffy, creamy fullness that may progress to a light, spritzy finish aided by high carbonation, always effervescent. That is spot on for this beer. So overall impression, this is definitely a Hefe Weizen, and I can taste that. These beers, you know, I was really nervous about buying, because I bought a set of 3 from this particular maker for $3, $3.60 or something like that. So each one of these beers was just about $1. And so I was a little bit nervous about whether or not they were going to taste good. And I'm actually really impressed. I'm looking forward now to the Dunkelweizen, which I have, that I'm going to try next with my chicken noodle soup for dinner, or maybe as dessert. I don't know. But overall, great beers. I really recommend it if you can get in on that deal at Bevmo. And let me know if this is something that you've tried below, what your thoughts were on it, or if you decide to go out and buy it because you've seen this video. Find me on Untappd. My username is in the description for this channel. And then check out my GoFundMe page to help me get to certified Cicerone level. That's what I'm working toward by doing these videos, trying all these different styles and all these different regions. So any amount will help. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.